Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week in the beautiful United States of America. Another week of people taking their stupidity and posting it on the internet for our own amusement. There's nothing really good in the news right now besides the ending of the Israel-Iran conflict, which only lasted 11 days. In this video, we are going to be reacting to some of the craziest brain rot coming from some of the biggest influencers on the left. And with that, we're just going to jump right in.
Boy, this is my impression of someone that has no idea how fucked the world actually is. Sorry, is my coffee almost ready?
This is my impression of someone who doesn't know how great America actually is. Free Palestine! I'm gay. Like and subscribe if you love America. Yeehaw!
I just cannot shake the feeling that we're going to see the end of capitalism in our lifetimes. I just cannot. And to my mind, the question is just what comes next. I think we're gonna make it something better.
She says while smiling as she records herself on an iPhone created by capitalism, as she posts it on a social media app created by capitalism, as she uses the cell phone service created by capitalism.
If you can't name more than 5 WNBA players off the top of your head, or I'll even say if you can't name more than 5 athletes in women's sports in general off the top of your head, then you don't get to have an opinion on trans people in sports. Who said that? Just kidding, it was me, Coach Jackie.
If you can't name 5 different climate scientists, you can't have an opinion on climate change. If you haven't owned at least 5 firearms, you can't have an opinion on the Second Amendment. If you haven't owned at least 5 slaves,
The bare minimum is being a feminist. The bare minimum is not saying slurs and calling out your friends when they engage in any sorts of bigotry. The bare minimum is being a, if he wanted to, he would type of guy.
no, the bare minimum is understanding that a fetus is human life. The bare minimum is not leaving a woman that you knocked up. The bare minimum is being a good father and providing for your family.
I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. This is my love, is mine, all mine.
Do you guys smell something? This is something stinky.
If a man abandons a child, he's just not ready. But if a woman chooses to abort a child, she's a monster. See how it works.
This is a rare moment where I actually agree with the person in the video. If a man leaves a woman after knocking her up, he's also a monster. In fact, I think there should be stricter laws in place to hold the men accountable. That being said, a woman who aborts their child is also a monster, a demon. There's no excuse for either instance. If you abandon your woman and child, or if you abort your child, you deserve to go to hell.
Listen, I don't care that undocumented immigrants are hardworking. I don't care that they pay $100 billion in taxes every year. I don't care that they work long hours and arduous jobs that most people wouldn't consider. I don't care about any of that. I care that they are human beings.
Listen, I don't care that illegal immigrants are raping and murdering our women and children. I don't care that literal Venezuelan gangs are taking over American apartment complexes. And I certainly don't care that illegal immigrants cost the American taxpayer hundreds of billions of dollars, way more than they contribute to our taxpayer system. They can be human beings back in their own country.
You know what's fucked up? Every morning after work, I stop right here, me and my son, we gas up, and look at this shit. It's motherfucking empty. Look at that gas station. It's motherfucking empty.
Wait a second. So he's mad that people aren't purchasing gas? Either that or he's mad that a bunch of illegal aliens aren't loitering around the gas station. Good job, Ice.
So yesterday, with the stroke of a pen, Trump got rid of the law in America that says you can either fire someone or refuse to hire someone based on their age, their gender, their ethnicity, their religion, their country of origin, etc. It's called the Equal Employee Opportunity Act.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Act still exists as an important framework to fight against discrimination in the workplace. The only thing Trump did was remove the requirement for federal contractors to create and enforce affirmative action plans, which affirmative action plans are racist and don't belong in an anti-discrimination law anyways. This is an absolute lie from an absolute clown.
Why don't we call white people European Americans? You might say, oh, because we're not from Europe. Well, I've never been to Africa a day in my life, but I'm African American. And I know a lot of Mexican Americans and Asian Americans who were literally born and raised in California. I was born and raised in Texas. Make it make sense.
This is just a way for them to keep us divided. If you were born in America, I am no more American than you are. Instead of seeing people by white, brown, black, orange, yellow, green, or blue, we would all be way stronger as a nation if we just called each other what we actually are, Americans.
Would you look at that? Another 6-3 Supreme Court decision that leaves the rest of us with rational brain cells wondering how in the hell 6 of the top legal minds in the U.S. can wipe their ass with the Constitution and due process and still get away with it.
So you're crying because you don't like how the legal process works?